with an opening statement from Coach of the day. Let's go raise hands for questions afterwards for the players.
Yeah, well, what a fun environment and fun game. There were some parts in the second half that weren't so much fun. That really, you got to get through if you want to be good and to beat a good team. I told the guys before the game we're going to have adversity. We faced it and we overcame it, and then really proud of that. And in the first 20 minutes, there were segments there. I just thought we played incredible basketball, offense, defense, sharing. And I think we had 15 assists at halftime. Just beautiful basketball. And the second half, give them credit. I thought Kentucky played well. We made a few mistakes there, and it wasn't like we just held on. It was a battle second half. We knew they'd make the run. They score so easy. I know they're topping and one of the tops in the country, and so they can go on a roll, but we did do a good job of overcoming adversity and figuring out a way.
Questions for players? Joe?
For both of you guys, you beat 2 top 10 teams in a week. Just what's the last week been like for each of you guys?
As a team, I feel like that first win, that's when you experience like a rush. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was our first one. That's something we've been talking about, kind of dreaming of forever, like beating teams like that. And then to have a big opportunity the next game, Alabama, we lost. That was probably our worst loss of the year. But it was just like, it was a humbling experience. Like, you're up one day and the next day you're down. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like the way we just bounced back from that loss is just really like proof that our guys are super tough. We knew that this Kentucky team was kind of similar to Alabama, and I feel like it was good that we just played Alabama, but we knew that Kentucky went a week not playing. Like, this was their first game, so we knew that we wanted to come out there and throw the first punch, but at the same time, we know teams like that, they score in bunches and they can go on a crazy run, and we just got to weather the storm, and I feel like we did a great job of that. But overall, I never thought I'd be playing against like a team like Kentucky, you know what I'm saying, coming from Miles College and beating Tennessee, beating Kentucky, things like this. Like, this is just, these are things that I never take for granted. I know we don't take it for granted, and I'm just grateful to be here, especially playing with these guys. I feel like we can go and beat anybody. Our ceiling is insane. I feel like we can be one of the best teams in the country, and we can compete with anybody.
All right.
Yeah, for both of you, just kind of how does it feel to be, see the fans, storm the court twice in a week, and to just kind of be part of that environment?
Yeah, it's awesome. I've actually never been a part of a school when they storm the court, so it's pretty cool for me. I know Ms. Lee's kind of getting tired of it now, but all that money we got to send out for storming the court. But the atmosphere is crazy. I've never experienced that, like I said, but it's a crazy adrenaline rush. Everybody over there hyped for you, and it kind of just shows you the community of the school and how much the student body cares about what we're doing, and it's really cool to be in.
Jason, I know you talked a little bit just about your journey, coming from the NCAA level in North Texas and now being here at Vanderbilt. How big is a moment like this for you to not just win these games and be a part of it, but also to be really contributing and playing the way you are as well?
Sometimes I feel like I just have like moments like throughout the day where it's like it just hits me like I'm really here. Like, sometimes I just walk in the locker room and like it's very easy to take it for granted. Like, I'm just gonna walk in the locker room, practice. Like, probably people don't even want to practice. Like, I'm tired of practice. Like, we got to practice again. We got weights. But it's like I walk in, I see the crazy facility of the weight room. I see the practice facility. Like, it feels like yesterday I was at Miles College playing in the church gym. Like, you do a layup and you run too hard, you run into the wall. It's right there. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like people that went through what I went through in the journey, they give up. And I feel like that's really what leads to people falling off and people quitting and people not reaching their full potential in anything. It's just giving up. And I feel like recently I've been going through ups and downs mentally, but talking to my mom, talking to God, things like that, that's what's allowing me to be here. And it's really just my resilience that keeps me here. And I feel like the sky's the limit with me. But at the end of the day, if the ball was to stop bouncing right now, I'd be grateful for everything that's happened to me. I feel like I beat the odds in a sense, and I'm just grateful, and I never take a day for granted. I never take wins like this for granted. But at the same time, like, I know that my teammates need me. I know this program, they love me, and they put 100% faith in me, and that's what encourages me and puts the battery in my back to keep going hard every day and try to keep improving this team and keep taking this program to the next level.
Julian?
Jason, how big are games like this as you get closer and closer to a conference tournament, closer and closer to March, which I'm sure is obviously one of the goals for you guys to get to the tournament? How big are games like this?
We knew coming in that this was a must-win. Like, at the end of the day, people ranked us 16th in the conference, and we knew that that's not who we are. And we knew that games like this is what puts the world on notice. We already beat a top 10. We knew that we dropped the Alabama game. We came into that expecting to win that game. That wasn't one we were like, okay, we're playing Bama at Bama. We were expecting to win that game, and it didn't go our way. But here, we knew we weren't going to let that game snowball into this game. So I feel like every game in this league is the hardest game of your life. Like, every game is going to take everything out of you. You know what I'm saying? So it's not one of those leagues where you can kind of ease into a game. You have to go in there and win every single game. And even today, we were up by 14 and a half. We came out. It went on like a 16-something run. Like, it was crazy. But at the end of the day, like, we knew that you have to keep going. You can't allow things like that to take you down. And you can't go into a game thinking, oh, it's going to be easy, or the game's going to play itself along, where we're just going to somehow win. Like, we knew we have to go in there and take every single game. So I feel like as we keep going, we're going to approach it with the same mindset. Like, we're going to take the game. They don't expect us to win. Nobody expects us to win but us, people in the locker room. So I feel like that's how we're going to approach every game. We're going to continue to have that mindset, and it's going to pay off.
Tyler, your three there late was huge. I forget who got the rebound, but that was after a wild sequence. You feel like, and you've hit some big shots, obviously, the last few games. You feel like you're in a little bit of a shooting groove right now?
Yeah, I think I've definitely found my stride kind of right now. It's just a matter of being consistent, which I never really worry about that much, just because I know the work I put in. So knowing how much work I put in every day and how consistent I am with that, I expect my results to be consistent. I had some uncharacteristic games and times during the season where I feel like I wasn't doing what I needed to do. And everybody was just telling me, keep my head up, they're going to fall, your work will show. And now I feel like now is where that's kind of coming into effect. So I'm just going to be consistent with what I'm doing. And, I've definitely been feeling better the past couple games. But I just got to keep it going.
Go a couple more for the guys. We'll go Aria and then Joey to finish up.
Yeah, Jason, the past several games, there's been some pretty poor starts in the first half, but this game obviously was a really good first half. What was kind of the difference between that?
I feel like before the game started, we always huddle up around the 1 minute mark of the clock before the game starts. And the thing I said today was throw the first punch. We always say that, but I kind of reiterated it before the game, and I feel like the guys really accepted that. And, like, you could see, like, the looks on everybody's faces in that huddle. Like, we knew what we were getting ourselves into. And we knew, like, if we come in here and tiptoe into this game, it can get ugly really fast. So we knew that the game is going to have its ebbs and flows, it's going to have ups and downs, but the first punch is crucial. And I feel like today that's what allowed us to come out with the victory.
Jason, you mentioned you guys were 16th in the SEC preseason poll. You were underdogs today, underdogs against Tennessee. Why should people not be surprised that you guys are doing this now?
People shouldn't be surprised because the type of guys we are. When you look at our roster, me and Tyler were just talking about it, we're special, and we're all special for different reasons. And I give big credit to my guy right here for bringing in this group of guys, but at the end of the day, I wouldn't want to go into war with anybody else. I feel like we all are special, we're all unique, and we're all super talented. It's not like we all come in and think like, oh, this is what we're going to do individually. Like, we think that as long as we all put our best foot forward, we can be a great team. And it's times where our competitive nature takes over, where it's like, oh, I want to be on this court, I want to do this. But at the end of the day, it's never in a bad spirit. And that's what I feel like we all know that, and we all accept that from each other. Even when somebody's upset, we don't look at it like, oh, he's being selfish. We look at it like he really wants it this bad, and he doesn't want it just for himself. He wants it to help our team. And I feel like we're doing a better job controlling that. But at the end of the day, like, when we go and play other teams, the skill will not be a drop-off on any level. People probably look at the height, but the skill is not a drop-off on any level. And we're going to go out there and fight. I feel like that's one of the biggest things about our team is we're fighters. Like you saw at Bama, we was down big, but we keep fighting. Like no matter what happens, if we're up 10, we're down 10, we're gonna fight every second. So I feel like that's what separates us, and that's what makes me not want to trade on these guys for anything.
All right, Tyler, Jason, thank you.
Good job, good job, good job, good job.
All right, questions for Coach?
Coach, you average right at 25 three-point attempts per game. You took the 25th today at 14:42. I think you only took 7 more in the last 14 minutes. So what did you see to adjust from all the threes, and then you start going to more of the 2 points and the guard penetration?
Yeah, it was the ebb and flow of the games. We made some early. We still got some good ones, but we just wanted different looks. I think probably the sequence right after you talked about, we ran a post-up play for Devin McLaughlin, and we try to emphasize driving the ball more. If our threes came from drives, we wanted to take those. There were some good ones, but we were just in a situation in the second half, we were just playing hesitant. And I just wanted more aggressiveness, whether it was driving or trying to get the ball inside. And if our threes came after aggressive plays, I'd take them. But I'll live with our guys. If they take some good ones, take the right shot. Sometimes they don't go in, but if you do the right things, the odds will come in your favor.
Mark, how satisfying is it for a coach when your team gets hit with an absolute haymaker and you can go one of two ways and you all go the route that gets you to a point where you can live to tell about it?
We were in one of the timeouts, and I got one coach yelling at me about defense, another about offense, and everything else. And I told them, I was like, look, we need a psychology huddle. And so I was like, y'all can keep all this other stuff. And we went in, and just I want them to reset. And, when you're at that situation, it was like 8 minutes to go, 6 minutes to go. Like it was a possession game. I wanted our guys to reset and play the game from here on out. And, they probably forgot how good they played in the first half. They were thinking about what they did in the second half, and some things didn't go our way. But to be able to have that is one of the hardest things in sports. I mean, momentum was huge. Their fans are going crazy. The guys are playing good basketball, and to be able to stop that and to be able to figure out a way, it's a lot of character. It really is, guys. Guys did a good job with that.
Jason Edwards, just talking, obviously, he has a certain edge about him. Just what kind of presence did he bring you guys today? What kind of presence does he bring you when you play against teams like this?
Something he just said, it was funny. He's got a battery pack in his back, I think he said, and that was like, with me, he does. Here's what he is. He's not scared. And he's built that way. He does some things that are unfundamental, uncharacteristic, or whatever else, but he does a lot of terrific things. And he's a dynamic guard. And if you don't have one of those in this league, there's going to be some struggles. And I think our team's learning how to use him, and he's kind of picking his time and everything else. He got us off to a terrific start. And we want guys to be the best version of themselves and be themselves. And we know he's here for a reason, what he's good at, and we want him to do that.
Coach, it felt like they baited certain guys into shooting threes, whether it's McLaughlin, Collins, Mignon. Did you expect that, and how did you think your guys approached that and kind of handled a lot of that? Because there were some misses there, but there were also some good makes in the first half.
Yeah, it was, and there was the game plan. They were backing off, especially Chris Mignon. Devin a little bit. I think they were kind of closing out to him, but you could see the game plan, and I got confidence in Chris. I think Chris settled into the game. Giving him those shots, we'll take those. Now, are we going to live with 10 of them? No, but I'm going to give him a chance to make them. He works hard, good person, good player, does so many things for us on the other side of it. As a coach, you got to have the players back, and I got their back.
Coach, when you first got here, you really talked about wanting to build the culture here at Vanderbilt. You have back-to-back home games against top 10 teams. You win. Fans are storming the court. What does moments like these really do towards that mission and building that culture you envisioned here at Vanderbilt?
I mean, it's not time to reflect, and it's on to what's next. And I've always kind of had the mentality. My college coach Jerry Wainwright taught us never get too high, never get too low. And if you get too low in this league, I mean, it's going to stomp you and crush you. And if you get too high, somebody's going to knock you off. And so we keep it simple. Let's just keep getting better. We'll see what happens.
Joey, Hustler, and then Julian.
MJ Collins said a few days ago that he thought you guys would win this game. Just what was the internal sense of belief that you guys could get this done?
I didn't know MJ's bold prediction, but at the same time, I feel like we can win any game if we play the right way and stick with our strengths and our characteristics that are really good. I think the guys in the film session after Alabama, I mean, there was some guys upset at themselves. I was upset myself, and just with the way we left that film session, I know they wanted to play again. And having a really good team wherever they're ranked. That probably helped focus us even more, but we wanted to play the next game. And so I'm sure, I like guys with confidence. I don't like the Joe Namath predictions. I like just to go ahead and play them as they come, but, I guess he was right.
Coach, there's been lots of conversations about how your team might be undersized. Have you seen that has fueled your players in any way? Yeah, I mean, you got to look at toughness. You got to look at heart. And, Devin McLaughlin, he was 3 inches shorter than their big today, and look at the production he had. Jalen Carey's an inch or two too short, but he's a bully out there, and with bigger guards and everything else. So we know going as coaching staff and our players kind of what our strengths and weaknesses are. And, I wish we had, Wemby or a 7-footer like that was doing these things. We don't. So we got a game plan and scheme for the things we don't have and use the things we do have.
Mark, how big are this stretch to take 2 out of 3 against these top 10 teams? How big is that to build a resume for March?
Yeah, they count them at the end, and so quad 1 win. I know the NCAA looks at that. It really is. You go into every game and just say, let's go 1-0, and let's win the next one, and let them do their job in the committee. We're at the first half we play at such a high level, and I keep saying that we can keep getting better. That first half was really good, but at the same time, room to grow, room to improve, and that's what we're focused on. We got to try to win as many as we can, but the most important one is that next one.
Why do you think it's been so tough for Tennessee and Kentucky to come in here the last couple of weekends and play? Obviously, they've stormed the court, but just for you guys, why do you think it's been so tough for them?
Well, I mean, I think it's a good battle. I think it's good teams. And, we do a good job of preparing, and our team and our guys played well. And then, giving a ton of credit to our student section, giving a ton of credit to our fans. They were really supportive in the second half. And we need all the support we can get. And, in the first half, they were loud, the chants, everything else. And so when you're trying to build something, you gotta have belief with everybody. And everybody's important. Everybody in that arena that had that V on and that was saying anchor down, they helped us win. And I want them to know they're a huge part of it, and hopefully continued and future success too.
Tyler Tanner was a huge part of what you guys were able to do in the second half. He was a +5. Really feel like the momentum turned with him and his play. How big is that for you guys to be able to lean on him in these big late games against a top 10 team as a freshman? Yeah, it's not just I'm trying to get him experience. It's actually his production even now. And, that was a huge steal. That steal was a big play. That helped solve our offense issues and got us to stop there. And look, he's going to keep growing and getting better. He works so hard. He's the right type of person. We're going to build around him. But, I'm not scared to play an 18-year-old in those situations if he's like Tyler Tanner. Like he might make a mistake, but he's not making many of them. He's really good.
17 turnovers against a high-scoring offense. How important was that defensive game plan and trying to take the ball against Kentucky and Alabama? You've faced some really good offenses.
Yeah, and I think we talk about using our strengths, and so maybe some guys are undersized, but they can move their feet, and maybe they're aggressive with their hands and being able to get steals. And we don't have a shot blocker at the very end of it, so sometimes we got to steal it before they get there. Kentucky does a good job of putting you in hard situations. They can score quickly. And, if you look at our team, our success, our best games, our defense has led us. We do force teams into high turnovers and without really pressing, without really extending our defense. It's, Coach Buckland and Coach Ray and Coach Mangrum, they do a good job of defensive game plans, and our guys buy into it.
One more, Julie.
How many court stormings does it take for it to become an expectation and not a surprise anymore? You guys do anything?
Yeah, I mean, there's big picture things I wanted to happen around here, and you know, at one point I want it to be where you know, we're not surprised or we don't feel like the underdog in these games, and we're going into them knowing that our program's good and we expect to win. We're not there yet, so let the fans enjoy it. We got to start a GoFundMe page or something to pay fines. We'll figure it out. But at the same time, I'm happy for them. What a memory for them. I told our guys, let's make a memory. For all those people cheering for Vanderbilt today, they made a great memory.